Honestly, there's more problems than simple candidates.
All right, real quick on here. Number 1, 4 plus -6. Just give me an answer. -2. Okay. Number 2, -3 plus 5.
0.
2. Be positive 2. All right. -7 minus 7. Good. All right, and then 2 minus -1. Good. Minus a negative becomes plus a positive. All right. X and Y. Sorry, go ahead.
We didn't do those.
They didn't have to do those. I told them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I saw them on there, so I scrolled it down. All right, X and Y intercepts. Okay. So again, I just got to plug in 0 for X, plug in 0 for Y. So the first one, all right, I get 2Y equals 8. Divide by 2. Y equals 4. So my point is 0, 4. All right, so that is my Y-intercept. And then I'm going to go the other way where Y is going to be 0. So I'm going to have X plus 2 times 0 equals 8. And X equals 8 because that's going to be 0. All right, so my point becomes 8, 0. That is my X-intercept. All right, questions about how to do that? Christian?
Wait, so to find X, we have to let Y be 0, right?
Correct.
And then the other one. Okay, all right, I was wrong.
Okay.
I was confused.
All right, and then number 6. Somebody tell me what do I want for number 6. Jaylee?
Is it -5?
Tell me what to do for, let's say, if I have X equals 0, so I want to find my Y-intercept.
Oh, for the Y. So you can put 3 times 0 plus 5y equals -15.
All right, so I would have 0, then there's 5y equals -15. What does that give me? Divide by 5. Y equals -3. So I would have my point of my Y-intercept 0, -3. And then my X-intercept, what would I write, Jaylee?
Right, 3x plus 5 times 0 is -15.
All right, so the 0 wipes that out. 3x equals -15. And what do I get?
-5.
So what is my X-intercept? -5, 0. All right, very good. Any questions about that one? Anytime you gotta find X and Y intercepts, you gotta do the thing twice. Okay, once for the Y, once for the X. All right, and your homework problems. Let's go this way. 14 through 19. Let me know if you have any questions about those.
Hey, really check 14 and 15 because a lot of you either didn't reduce it or you might have had to close like 6 7s. But in the end, it needs to go ahead and make that -1 and make 15 +1. You always want to reduce your fraction to the simplest number.
Any questions about it, Zach?
14, 15, do we have to also show the fraction?
Do you have to also show the fraction?
Yeah.
I think it probably just asked for the slope. Is that right? Let's do that.
Yeah, but like I said, the 2 points is usually like 7/7.
Okay.
Do that just so we see that.
All right, and then there's the rest of them. CDG 3006 -3 0 0 -9. Any questions about any of those? No? Just can't wait to do the next section, I guess.
Right,
Christian, you good?
No.
All right. We got 5-5 today, 5-4.
5-4.
5-4.
Through after 5-5, we'll take a little test. Hey, would you take a look at the sound? Making accusations. She had 77%.
Okay.
We're looking at sound grade. Don't tell tales. All tales.
No,
So now what's the issue?
we'll just make it in bond. It has 1,800 horsepower.
For which quarter? For
I don't know. It has more than.
I think for this one.
I definitely don't. Horsepower actually like. I'm good at that. Oh, you have raw rocker? When he drives with a controller, he's like. Whenever I do that, my car goes.
So we're good.
Like that.
All right, let's take a look here at section 5-4. We're gonna use
87.
87. Because right now you had a 0 on one of your homework, so it makes your homework grade look bad. But as we get more homework, so more if you turn it in. All right, find the slope by using the slope formula. What you were given yesterday is you were given a line, and then you could count over the boxes. So you would count over up 4 and over 3, or up 5 and over 2. You were able to do that. Not necessarily the case here. Well, what do you think? Now, this one isn't on your, so just take a look. What is the slope of that line? Is that as easy to tell? Uh-oh, Jordan.
Is it 1/2?
No. No, but thank you for playing. Okay. You know, what is the slope? You don't have the picture in front of you, right?
Oh, I see how they got there.
How do you get that?
2 and 1, the difference there.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Not bad thinking, but
You're not bad thinking, but you got something a little off. Yep, Colin?
6/3?
6/3. Where are you getting that at? I'm just curious.
Well.
Oh, I see. You're on the right track. You're on the right track. Jordan?
Let me redeem myself. Is it 2?
Is it 2?
Yeah.
No.
It's like this.
Yeah, so it's 6/3.
No. Preston?
It's 5/3.
Absolutely not.
Where did you even get 5?
Absolutely. I don't even know what you're thinking. 5/3.
And that's 6/3.
That's what I said.
Oh, still wrong. Connor,
I'm a guess. Is it 2/1?
it's already been said. Pay attention.
Oh, it's already been said.
Pay attention.
6/3.
I did. I just didn't hear it.
All right.
It's too smart for it.
Okay.
4/5.
Oh. Give me the shit.
I don't know.
All right, now you got the picture. Take a look at the picture. Slope is. Nope.
4/6.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
No.
800.
Oh gosh.
Mr. Schlur, I failed yesterday.
I think, hey, yesterday in the notes we had something. Shh, quiet down.
Listen.
Hey, yesterday on the notes we had some. Mr. D briefly talked about like the delta symbol.
3/6.
And it said something like Y's and X's. Anybody remember that, Jordan?
So it's 3/6, right?
I just said that.
Well, okay, you said 1/2 is the same thing as 3/6. That's what I was saying.
But you said 2/1.
No, he said 1/2 before.
No.
Did he?
Yeah.
I just said he changed it later.
All right, then I apologize. I apologize. I screwed up. Hold on, Connor, I'm taking over.
Okay.
Okay. It is rise over run, and so when you see it, you go up 3 and over 6, and now that does reduce to 1/2. Now, without seeing the picture, Jordan, what were you doing?
I was taking the difference between 0 and 6, and then the difference between 2 and 5, and dividing the x by 1.
Okay, great. So he took the difference. So he took 5, the difference between 2 and 5, because the y coordinate here is 2, the y coordinate here is 5. To get from 2 to 5, you got to go up 3. Well, that's 5 minus 2. And then to go from 0 to 6, you got to go over 6. So that is the difference of 6 minus 0. So 5 minus 2 is 3, 6 minus 0 is 6. That reduces to 1/2. So you can do this without drawing it out. If you got the picture in front of you, life's a little bit easier, but you can figure it out without drawing it out. Okay, just like Jordan said, I'll take the difference between the x's and the difference between the y's. Okay, that leads us to the slope formula. All right, this is what should be on your page right there. See where it says m equals? See where it says m equals. Now we use the letter m for slope. Okay, the letter m, little m is for slope. It says the slope between any 2 points, x1 and y1 and x2 and y2 is given by this case here. Basically, it tells you subtract the y's on top, subtract the x's on bottom, because the y's will give you the rise, how far it goes up. The x's will give you the run, okay, how far you go across. Got it? But you got to watch the order that you subtract. Because a lot of times, like, you don't subtract these two, you don't subtract these two. You got to do the second ones first, and then your x coordinate second. So rise over run for that one. So it says find the slope of the line that contains the following points. Now, I know you don't have the graph, but you got those points, right? 2, 5, and 8, 1. Okay. You don't. Hopefully, you won't do this long, but I'm going to do this for the first couple. I'm going to actually label them. When you label one of the points, the first point, we label both x1, y1, because it basically means it's my first x and my second, or my first y, and then x2, y2 just means I got a different point. I can't label it the same. Slope, whoa, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I always take the second y, which is 1, minus the first y, which is 5, and then 8 minus 2. Now we got to work, just make sure we simplify and do everything correctly. So what is 1 minus 5? That is negative 4. 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay. Reduce, 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 reduce. And now it says negative, so that means the line should be going downhill. Well, what is 4 over 6 reduced to? 2/3. So my slope is negative 2/3. Now, you don't have to graph the line, but if you really want to make sure, this will work. So if I go to 2, 5, which is right there, and 8, 1, it is right there. And so it goes downhill. The slope is negative 2/3. So now, if I go down 2 and over 3, I got to hit the line again. Every time I go down 2 over 3, I hit the line. Okay. I go down 2, I go over 3, I'm going to hit the line. Well, that's the same thing as going up. I can go up how far? I can go up 2 over 3. My line's a little off. I gotta fix it. Okay, for that. All right, what about 2, negative 8, and negative 6, negative 4? That's why we did the bell work here in the beginning, because when you're dealing with positive negatives, it's real helpful to remember your rules. You are allowed to use your calculator, though. But I think you should just try it. Because we got a lot of you are really good, especially with some of your mental stuff. I would try it first and double check it with your calculator. So I got x1, y1 here. I got x2, y2 here. And so my slope is negative 4 minus negative 8 over negative 6 minus 2. Now, some of you automatically do, all right, minus and negative is automatically a what? Positive. So negative 4 plus 8. And then negative 6 minus 2. All right, what's negative 4 plus 8? That is positive 4, negative 6 minus 2, negative 8. All right, now in the end, if your final answer is a negative, put it out in front or put it with the top. Don't leave it in the bottom number. You don't ever write negative on the bottom. Okay? And even if you do that in your calculator, it usually gives you an error message. If you did 4 divided by negative 8, for whatever reason, it gives you an error. All right, what is this reduced to, Jordan? What's this reduced to?
2.
Oh, no.
Negative 2.
Oh, Look again. The bigger numbers
Oh,
on
it's a
top.
half.
There you go. Okay, -1/2. And I'll tell you, and that happens a ton, is like you mentally say, oh, 8 divided by 4 is 2 because you want it to be a whole number. Just be careful on that. Just be careful. So -1/2. All right, 4, -2, and 1, 7. All right, subtract and see what you get. All right, Morgan, what order we subtract on top?
7 minus -2 divided by 1 minus 4.
Good. 7 minus -2. 1 minus 4. All right, Morgan, what's 7 minus -2?
9.
And what's 1 minus 4?
3.
Make it -3. Call it. Now, if you got this situation, 9 divided by -3, does that come out to a whole number?
Yes.
9 divided by -3 is a whole number. Just write it as -3. Okay, that is fine. Now, some people might say, oh, that's -3/1. That's not incorrect. Okay, but if it just comes out the whole number, you can say the slope is -3, which is equivalent to -3/1. Okay, for that. All right, 3 -5 and -1 9. And so that's going to give me 9 minus -5.
Which one's this?
Is that number 4?
Yeah, we don't have.
You don't
We
have
have
that?
number 4. We have 1, 2, 3.
For number 2.
2 again.
It just says 2.
Oh, you got it backwards. Okay, all right, so just pay attention. Just hold on a second. Don't do anything. Okay, so mine, this is first and this is second. So I do 9 minus -5 and I do -1 minus 3. Just watch. So now, 9 minus -5, that is 14. -1 minus 3. -4, right? Reduce that. What does that reduce to? I don't at first slope, don't ever make it a mixed number. Don't make it like 2.5 or 2 3/5. Just keep it at the top like 8/5 is fine. Joe? Were you gonna tell me what it reduces to?
And we don't want a decimal.
Yeah, no decimals.
7 over -2.
7 over -2, and since the whole thing is negative, make it -7/2. Make it negative, put the negative out in front. All right, now on your paper though, it looks a little different, right? You said the -1 9 is first, right? Okay. If this happens, it doesn't really matter what, you gotta get the same answer. Okay, you gotta get the same answer. So if I order these x1, y1, and x2, y2, and I do this order, and I do -5 minus 9 over 3 minus -1, okay, if I do that, -5 minus 9 is -14, and what's 3 minus 1? -1. It is 4, and if I reduce it, I still get -7/2, but if you notice, the first time I had 14 on top and -4 on the bottom, and the second time I had -14 on top and 4 on the bottom. It's still negative. So that's just showing you it really doesn't matter which order you go in. When you subtract, you just have to subtract the y's on top. And if I go the first one minus the second one, I got to do the first minus the second on the bottom. That will give you the wrong answer. Okay? All right, now, I know you don't have this here, but just reducing fractions. Question. Do you know how to reduce fractions without using your calculator? Like, you know the process. Connor, I heard one no. Bailey says no. Connor?
I just wanted to ask, when you do like -2, like for example, it says like -5 minus 9. Why do you not put that in parentheses?
Say it on this last one. Why didn't I put what?
Why didn't you
That-
put like, yeah,
I usually put it in parentheses if it's minus a negative, because you're doing 9, and to make sure I say I'm always subtracting and then whatever that number is. So I could put it in parentheses, I could make that -5 minus 9, but it's not as important. Okay, to show the differences, okay? All right, Jaylee, you said no. You're like, no, I don't know how to reduce, right? Take a look at the two numbers, and you want to say, all right, what? You hope for the biggest number, but at least what number goes into both 6 and 15? What's that? 3. Find a number that goes into both. You're going to divide both of those by that number. What's 6 divided by 3? 2. What's 15 divided by 3? 5. Now you look again and you say, can that divide further? Can an A number go into 2 and 5? So then it's all the way reduced. That's how you do that. So 8 and 32, I say, all right, can I reduce it? You come up with any number that goes into both of those. 4. All right, so let's divide by 4. Hold on, Zach, I know what you're going to say. Divide by 4. What's 8 divided by 4? 2. What's 32 divided by 4?
I know.
8. Now you've got to look, can it reduce further? Can something go into 2 and 8? Hey, I need you to focus here. 2 will go into both. And so 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. Well, all that means, you might have to do it twice. That means right here, you could have picked a bigger number that goes into both of them. Jordan?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you just divide both by 8?
Well, sometimes you always want to do the biggest one, but if you don't see the biggest one, then you might have to do it twice. But yes, if you see it's 8, definitely do it by 8. And you get 1 over 4. Okay? But like if you got really big numbers and you just like start with 2, you might have to do it twice. All right. Also, something that comes up. If you got -1 over -3 is your answer, like if you're done and it says -1 divided by -3, what's your final answer?
Is it just 1/3?
You would have to write it as 1/3. Never leave an answer with a negative on top and bottom.
Your math is upside down.
What?
Your math is upside down.
It is?
Yeah.
See the
White
metal things
supposed
on
to
the
go on
bottom?
top.
Hey, there's a white and a
Yeah,
blue?
see the-
All right.
Yeah, because like.
There we go.
Forced on you.
Said a little bit.
All
All right, hey, well, I learned something today. Thanks, Evan. I never even noticed that the white should be on top. I'll be darned. All right.
I'll be darned.
The guy saves lives and does calculations.
Oh, yeah.
Saving life one count.
All right, let's take a look at number 5 then. Take a look at number 5.
Oh, God.
I'll be darned. I said, I'll be darned if she started laughing.
So I
Okay, so for this one here, George. Oh, they had hand up.
No, I did wrestle up with the answer.
Oh, okay, well, let me at least set up the subtraction. So for this one here, y2 is -2 minus y1, which is -2. You got 7 minus 5. What is -2 minus -2? It is 0, because it becomes -2 plus 2, which is 0. Now 7 minus 5 is 2. All right, one little thing here is you cannot leave that as your final answer.
Zero.
It is 0, just a 0. So you would say m equals 0. Now, I know you don't have a graph, but if you take a look at 5, -2, that would be this point right here, and 7, -2 would be this point right here. And if I connected them, what type of line is that, Christian?
0.
Well, we can also call it a horizontal line.
Horizontal line.
with zero slope.
Yeah, zero slope.
Zero slope.
It's a zero line.
Okay. All right, how about 6, -8, and 6, 3? So you know for sure. Okay, so now I got x1, y1. I got x2, y2. And so my slope is 3 minus -8 over 6 minus 6. 3 minus -8? 11. 6 minus 6? 0. Okay, again, if you say m equals 11 over 0, we can't count it right. Undefined. This is undefined.
Undefined. It's an undefined line. Do you have homework tonight?
Okay, good. Well, of course.
Darn it! Can I get off? This is my birthday.
No.
Oh,
Hey, listen,
yeah.
listen. All right, Barker, I'm about to move you, I don't know where,
Oh.
but you might be down on the steps out here. Quit turning around. There we go. Now, this isn't on your list, but just take a look. If you have a linear relationship, it is always a straight line, and all you need is 2 points to find the slope. So if you're given this, you can just count up and over, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4 up, 2 over, which would be a slope of 2, right?
Yeah.
Now on the bottom there, you got a table. It says this shows a linear relationship. It says find the slope. What do you need to do? What do you need to do?
An equation.
Don't need to do an equation.
Oh.
Okay, Morgan.
Just plug in the -2 and 5 on the graph.
Don't even need to do that.
What?
So now how did we find the slope for all of these? We were given what? 2 points.
Doesn't matter which ones you use.
Does it matter which ones you use? Since they tell us, that's a good question. Since they tell us it's linear, I know it's a straight line. You can pick any 2 points and you'll get the same answer. So now,
So it doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. So -2, 5 is 1 point and -1, 3. All right, you guys do that right there. You guys do -2, 5 and do -1, 3. Here in the middle. Here in the middle, you pick, let's do -1, 3 and 0, 1. Okay, you guys do that.
The first one.
And over here on the right, you guys do 0, 1 and 1, -1. Okay?
You got an hour? You don't have.
Yep.
First pair.
Yeah.
So it's y2 minus y1. 3 minus 5.
Okay.
And then on the
Yeah.
bottom, -1 minus
Minus -1.
The one?
Is this one?
All right, see what you do.
I didn't know, I thought that you just wanted to. That doesn't make sense.
Here's your rule.
Oh, 0.
And that out. Second class starts.
What's this for?
Second class starts.
How'd you get?
What's -1 minus?
It's not.
How'd you get a negative?
Hey, is the first one negative?
No, you look easy.
Those are two different. Good stuff. Good here.
I know.
Say,
Great.
yeah, accepted second.
You got the right answer. Alright, Joe, what'd you guys get for your final answer?
I got.
You did? You got -1? Check there's Mr. Schlur.
He has 2 over -1.
Oh, 2 over negative. So what's the final answer? -1 minus 1 over 1 minus 0 is -2 over 1. Final answer is -2. So no matter which 2 points you picked, okay, 3 minus 5 over -1 minus -2, you got to get -2. You got to get -2. Okay. All right, now flip it over on the back. Flip it over on the back. Find the slope. Pay attention.
Chatty today.
Yeah. Find the slope of the line described by this. All right. Everything we've done so far, we use the slope formula. In order to use the slope formula, we had to have what? We were given 2 points. So now, Zach, what do you think? You got an idea?
So you first you have to find like what the y and x intercepts are. So for this one it would be 4 and 4 0 and 0 8.
Oh, and like you're like light years ahead. Like let's back up. Get off of warp
I
speed.
already did it.
Get off of warp speed. I'm a simple guy, Zach. I can't go that fast. Okay.
All
right. Hey, Zach actually awesome. He did it right. He said, "All right, we need 2 points. Like all of these other problems to find the slope, you were given 2 points. And when you're given 2 points, you're like, yeah, I can subtract the y's over the x's. But you're like, all right, I don't know about for this one. So we got to find 2 points. And we know how to find the x and y intercepts because we've done that.
Let y equal 0.
So for the y-intercept, hold on, I'm going to do the x. For the y-intercept,
Why do you do the y first? It's just a question.
doesn't matter. Let x equal 0. Remember, it wipes it out. 4 times 0 wipes that whole thing out. So I'm left with -2y.
So -8, 0. No. Oh, 0, -8.
So you get -8,
0.
which is 0, -8.
Oh,
On my paper.
No, it's not.
Okay, now, x-intercept.
I'm going to sweat.
Let y equal 0. Okay, it wipes it out. You get 4x equals 16. Divide by 4. X equals 4. So I get 4, 0. Do I now have 2 points, Amanda? I got 2 points. Now remember, the whole goal of this problem said to find the what? Find the slope. So this is going to be x1, y1. For me,
We can do that too.
it says find the slope. All right, watch your order. Watch your order. 0 minus -8 is 8. 8 divided, and you get 8 over 4. Now again, simplify it. What do we get? 2. So the final answer is m equals 2. So this one, there's a little bit more involved because you gotta find 2 points. You gotta use those 2 points to find the slope. Okay, Mr. Schlert, made the demand that there's no homework. So I will adhere to it. We'll pick up with this tomorrow. Don't lose these
Wait, can I do the
guys.
last one?
Is that?
The slope for the last one is 3/4. Because I'm smart, let's go.
You're getting there.
Wow. You're getting there. That was mean. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that.